Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry that this video was a little bit later than I actually said it would be in my previous video. But obviously I've just kind of got the next part of my setup for my channel to obviously set up, and I'll be streaming Persona 5 later on today for you guys and girls. But anyway, back to what we're here for. Episode 2, King of the Stone World. So basically it starts off with a recap. Obviously what they were all doing before the mysterious light appeared out of nowhere to freeze everyone, petrify everyone into stone. And obviously this here was to reiterate the point that one of our main characters, this is kind of what he's, the last thing he said to this lass. For the past 5 years, obviously, he was going to say that obviously he's had feelings for her and that. And we get back to basically quite a good shot of what the event was, like the natural disaster. Until we find out what it actually was, who caused it and why it was caused, I'll call it a natural disaster. So, yeah, as you can see, pretty well drawn with all the greens and the lighter tones and that. So after that happened, obviously, that day everyone in the world turned to stone. That day everyone in the world turned to stone. Obviously it's showing some of the other people that were petrified into stone by this event. And as you can see, not everyone was lucky. Some people are basically beside themselves, if you know what I mean. But anyway, enough of that awkward joke. Anyway, let's get to the next one. Also, another look at one of our other main characters. He basically show him how far he had to walk to meet up with Dr. Stone. So you're finally awake, you big oaf. This is the point in the anime in episode 1 that really hooked me from the moment I saw it. Obviously Dr. Stone here obviously reiterates the point as well that the day that basically humanity just broke out of the petrification, well, Dr. Stone and his friend, October 5th, it's 5738. And yeah, it's basically he's trying to figure out how long that was, and obviously it's kind of like 3,700 years. Humanity spent 2 million years getting from the Stone Age to the Modern Age. And obviously with these pictures here, it's obviously saying it's such a big kind of stopgap to the human race that basically, I'm going back to what he said here. It's obviously as humanity we spent 2 million years getting from the Stone Age to the Modern Age. So maybe that's kind of like foreshadowing. But hopefully it doesn't take that long for them to get back up to where we were before the event. So here is after Dr. Stone says, his friend, I can't remember his name, the blonde guy, he says, so who do we use this liquid on? And Dr. Stone's obviously like, I tied you, it's your choice. And he's like, Taiju's like, And obviously, we all know his answer is obvious. The girl that he's waited for quite a while, in my honest opinion, to revive. Now, here in the episode, it's basically they're getting chased when they rescue the lass. Well, obviously in her stone form, obviously. They realise that Dr. Stone obviously says that when they come across a tiger, lion, one of the two, that the staff at the local zoo have obviously turned to stone. And obviously, kind of like the carnivores have been able to get out of their like pens that they were in, because obviously there's no security now and they can get out. So basically, it's a pet buffet, meaning that the carnivores can now get to the herbivores. So basically, they're obviously asserting their dominance as like the king of beasts, like a hierarchy kind of thing. Obviously, kind of now they've noticed that in the stone world the humans aren't at the top of the food chain anymore, because I think what it was when the petrification happened. When the petrification event happened, the human race went down a peg in the food chain, and basically carnivores like lions and tigers and all that went right to the top of the food chain. So basically what they're saying here is, in this stone world, humanity is the prey of these carnivores. Here's a better picture. I said lion. If you notice, these lions, because they've been in captivity for so long, the art direction that they've chosen is round about the eyes, if you notice, is really profoundly dark. Obviously they're using that art style to show that captive animals are now becoming feral, because they've got free access to food, obviously, and there's none of us human beings around to stop them. And this is the funny bit where Taiju and Dr. Stone are running away from the lion, and it's like, I'm glad I paused it where I did, because them falling off the cliff or jumping, either that or they got chased by this lion off the cliff. And I noticed how Taiju, no matter what, he's still got a hold of that lass. Let's say determination for you though. Dr. Stone mentions that possibly the reason that they're being chased is because they've never seen bipedals before, and obviously it looks weird to them, hence why they're chasing them. to be quite honest, the best they can do now is craft spears to fight back. Now, they meet a guy that obviously is this anime's version of Tarzan. I would have put a picture in of when he came out with the stone, but obviously I can't because obviously he was butt naked. But it was a cool scene where the piece, something off the eye, the piece of the stone cracked off his eye, and Dr. Stone's like, told him the situation, and he's like, there's lines for to your left, right, and ahead of you. And so then the guy just bursts out of the stone like boom, and it's like, it was basically like a Dragon Ball Z moment where it was like powering up, minus the yellow hair obviously. And he's like doosh, 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 doosh. And he's like kind of cutting through them like a knife through butter. And then obviously because he turns round and he looks at the female lionesses. Basically he was turning around and asserting his dominance as like the king of this animal world, and he's like his presence is like boom, like really like big. And obviously like the, because they're animals and that, they were like, oh wait a minute, you're showing my dominance, so right, we better back off. And this was basically after the Tarzan like guy decided, right, I'll be the brute force, I'll deal with the fighting and the hunting. I think that's it basically. Yeah. But yeah, it was a good episode really, because they didn't get around to reviving the lass that Taiju was obviously obsessed over. But obviously at that point they were like, well, we need someone to fight for us. And it's either a toss up between not reviving the caveman primal like person that they needed to help them with the lion, or basically wait a little bit longer until they can revive the lass. Yeah, and all through this episode it's basically stated that, or subconsciously stated that, it basically gave a background on Dr. Stone and Taiju, their friendship, and them growing up and everything, and how long they've known each other, which is quite a nice wee flashback to see for the anime. So, basically, what did you think of my review of episode 2? Now, episode 3 is going to be called Weapons of Science. I will give the creators of Dr. Stone their dues though. Really, really good titles for their episodes.